Most people, on some level, believe that their thoughts have something to do with their destiny. And your thoughts somehow create your life. But if the majority of your thoughts, 90% of your thoughts out of the 60 to 70,000 thoughts that you think in one day, if 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before, it makes sense then that 90% of the time your life is going to be exactly the same. Because the same thoughts always lead to the same choices always lead to the same behaviors create the same experiences produce the same emotions, and the same emotions drive your very same thoughts. And your biology, your neurocircuitry, your neurochemistry, your hormones, and even your genetic expression stays the same. It stays equal to how you think, how you act, and how you feel. And how you think, how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. So there's a principle in neuroscience that says that nerve cells that fire together wire together. If you keep thinking the same way, if you keep making the same choices, if you keep demonstrating the same behaviors, if you keep creating the same experiences that stamp the same networks of neurons into the same patterns, all for the familiar feeling called you, and you do that every single day for 10 or 20 years, we begin to hardwire our brain into a very finite signature. That finite signature, that box in the brain, is the most commonly fired, neurologically wired set of thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through repetition. So over time, then, the brain becomes a set of automatic programs. So then, that becomes 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old. A set of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, beliefs, perceptions, attitudes that function just like a computer program. So now when a person wants to change, they're going to use 5% of their conscious mind to work against 95% of what they've memorized subconsciously. So this is why affirmations don't work. A person can say all they want. I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. And that thought never makes it past the brainstem to reach the body. Why? Because the body has been conditioned into the past. The body is emotionally conditioned into the past, habitually conditioned into the past, unconsciously programmed into the past. And most of the time, the past has a lot to do with those emotions of guilt, of shame, of anger, of frustration, of unworthiness, of doubt, of insecurity. And so we have to learn then how to pull the brain and body out of the past. If you're not waking up every single morning and being defined by a vision of the future, then for the most part, you're left with the old circuitry and the old emotions and chemicals of the past. Why? Because your brain is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a record of the past. It's an artifact of everything you've learned and experienced to this moment. So then, the moment you wake up in the morning and you're not creating a new future, then you're going to show up predictable in your life because you're going to be using the circuits from past memories. And reason this: if feelings and emotions are the end product of past experiences, and you can remember experiences better because you can remember how they feel, it makes sense then that the moment you wake up in the morning and you search for the familiar feeling called you, and you lay there and you think about your problems and the people that are connected to those problems and the conditions in your life, and the moment you connect to that familiar feeling of unhappiness, to fear, to insecurity, to unworthiness, to be feeling deflated, the moment you feel that familiar emotion, your body is in the past. And when you start your day and you can't think greater than how you feel, or feelings have become the means of thinking, and you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, if you can't think greater than how you feel, then you are thinking in the past, and you will create more of the same in your life. So then how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. That thoughts are the currency of the brain, and feelings are the currency of your body. And how you think and how you feel creates a state of being. So then if the brain is a record of the past, and feelings and emotions are a record of the past, then most people start their entire day, from a state of being of the past. And when they do that, they show up predictable in their life. And if they keep doing it every day and repeating it every day, they get in the habit. And habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through frequent repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times that the body now knows how to do it better than the mind. The body becomes the mind. And most people then have lost their free will to a program, and they're headed for a genetic destiny because their body is dragging them unconsciously to the future. So then most people thinking the same thoughts that turn on the same circuits in their brain that produce the same chemicals for them to feel the same way. The moment they feel unworthy, the moment they feel unhappy, the moment they feel fear, those emotions influence their thoughts. Those thoughts then produce the same chemicals in their body. Those chemicals begin to influence their thoughts. And this cycle of thinking and feeling over time begins to condition the body to become the mind. And the redundancy of that action then causes the body to live in the past. So now to change then is to be greater than the body. But if the body has been conditioned into the past and the person is thinking the same thoughts, turning on the same hardwired circuits in their brain, reproducing the same chemicals in their body as their unconscious mind does not know the difference between an experience in their life that's creating an emotion and an emotion that they're creating by thought alone. To the body, it's exactly the same. So when people get caught in these loops, their body is believing. They're living in the same past experiences 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The body's literally being programmed into the past. And if the body has become the mind emotionally, then the body literally is in the past. And you can't create a new future holding on to the emotions of the past. So then most people, when they're stuck emotionally and stuck in certain thoughts, if you say to them, why are you this way? Why are you feeling this way? Why are you acting this way? Why do you think this way? The narrative that they tell when you ask that question has to do with some past experience. Oh, my father was this way, my ex was this way, I had this job with this boss and I was treated this way. Yes, that's the narrative. But what it really means is that you haven't been able to change since that experience or those experiences. So if you haven't been able to change since that experience, it means that that experience branded you neurologically and it began to emotionally condition you into the past. So the stronger the emotion that you feel from a past experience, the stronger the emotional quotient, the more altered you feel inside of you. The stronger that emotion is, the more you pay attention in your outer environment to what causes it. And the moment you put your attention on the outer environment because of a change in your internal chemistry, the brain takes a picture, a snapshot. And that snapshot is called a memory. And then we tend to think neurologically within that experience, and we tend to feel chemically within the boundaries of those emotions. An entire person's state of being is now in the past. Now, the latest research on memory tells us that 50% of what we talk about in the past isn't even the truth, that memory is creative. So then most people are reliving a life and telling a story of a past